Remind me, when you're chipping from just 15 or 20 yards away and you're reaching into your bag, you're trying to find the right club that will do you a job. I can't remember what it's called. It's a small club. It might be like a 9-iron, a pitching wedge, or even a Newcastle. A Newcastle. That's what it is. It's the small club. Now, at risk of making an ass of myself, this deal is not done, but it appears that Benjamin Sesko has very much communicated his interest in joining Manchester United, the Red Devils, and that, my friends, is how it's done. If you've ever had dogs, if you've had a big dog and a little dog, sometimes that little dog just likes to yap. Sometimes that little dog likes to bite at the heels of the big dog, and the big dog is just unbothered, doesn't seem to give a rip about that little dog, but every once in a while, that big dog will check that little dog and put it in its rightful place. Newcastle, Geordies, consider yourself checked and consider yourself humbled. Don't mess with the big dog. And you will find all sorts of folks on Twitter, all sorts of Newcastle fans dealing with the 5 stages of grief. And when I say 5, I actually mean 9. 9 because that's how many players have opted to go elsewhere over choosing Newcastle this summer. Take a look at this list. This is quite shocking. Mateus Cunha is not even included on that list, but that's because Mateus Cunha wouldn't even pick up a phone for Newcastle. Tough summer. You're licking your wounds, you're lashing out, you're deflecting, and it's hard to look yourself in the mirror, right? Take into account this guy, Geordie Josh. Now, what's wild to me is the fact that you think that athletes, professional athletes, guys at the top tier, think the same way that you do. None of these guys have gotten to the point where they're at in their careers by thinking with that sort of victim mentality, that sort of loser mindset, right? When I say loser mindset and victim mentality, I'm talking about blaming Manchester United for ruining a career. None of these guys actually think that they are not in control of their own career. Listen to Mateus Cunha. He's talking about coming to United, a dream club, his boyhood club. It was always a dream to wear that shirt, and he has the confidence, and he says it's not pressure, it's a privilege to bring Manchester United back to the top, back to where we used to be, right? It's self-belief. He believes that he is capable of reaching those levels and doing the impossible, right? Surely Benjamin Sesko, surely he doesn't think if he goes to Manchester United, that thing is going to eat him up. Surely he has some level of self-belief and confidence in his ability to perform. And the problem is, if he did go to Newcastle, he would just be leaving again in a couple of years if he did hit the ground running, because you guys cannot keep those types of players. You would be selling to Liverpool. You would be selling to Chelsea. You would be selling to Manchester United if we didn't already beat you to the punch. Now, I do find it somewhat of an interesting strategy what Newcastle did here. They just wanted to pay the most money. They wanted to lock up that deal and put pressure on the club to put pressure on Benjamin Sesko. Benjamin Sesko will be allowed to leave for a smaller fee if a special club makes an offer, right? Who's to say who those special clubs are? We talk about Manchester United poll. We talk about some of the biggest clubs in the world, right? That driver off the tee box, that is Manchester United. And that is Manchester United even after we finish 15th in the Prem. Sit on that Newcastle. But you've been through this many times this summer. This one probably won't even hurt you at all.